Alright, so, I, kind of was thinking about holding off on this one, for a while, just because, like, I feel like there's a lot of cards that I want to add to it that, haven't arrived yet, or haven't even been released yet, because there's some pretty cool cards in Modern Horizons 2 that I was planning on adding to this deck. But then I got to thinking about it, and like, with how much support this archetype has, or this tribe rather has, uh, to continue to wait to do the video, um, because of new creatures getting added or new cards getting announced or leaked or whatever, I would probably never make the video because I would continually be waiting to add another card to it. You know, like right now, even. Like, if I wanted to try and wait for the Modern Horizons 2 cards to release, then I would get those cards, and then I'd be like, well, what about that card from Forgotten Realms that already got leaked, Tiamat, the Dragon God? Then I'd have to wait for that one too. And I'd probably do that, but I'm just gonna bite the bullet and just do it today. So, Dragons. Dragons is the deck. Ur-Dragon, specifically. Some people will put Ur-Dragon in the 99. I find that fucking unacceptable. Ur-Dragon should be your commander. Like, I want to state something about commander in general that might be kind of a hot topic or a hot button. Hot take. That's the term these kids are using these days. It's a hot take. Commanders with the Eminence ability probably never should have been printed. Eminence is super fucking powerful. To have a commander that can affect your gameplay from the command zone, where he starts, where she starts, where they start, without you doing anything to them. It's like basically starting every game with a ley line. Like, you might say, oh, well, your commander's not as powerful as a ley line, but like, sometimes I would say they're more powerful. You know, Ur-Dragon, you know, Eminence. As long as the Ur-Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost one less to cast. There's nothing you can do to stop that. Your entire deck, if you're running a dragon deck and you're running tribal, all of your most powerful spells, all of your most powerful creatures are one cheaper to cast. And you might think, well, one doesn't make that big of a difference. Yes, it does. Oh my god, yes it does. Okay. I'm getting really off track here. I should probably just start the video, but I gotta go off on a little bit of a tangent here. Where is it? There's one creature specifically I'm thinking of, that I seem to hit almost every time I play this deck. Shit, that's another one, though, that I should probably do a shout out for. But we'll get to that. We'll get there, baby. Okay, well, this is getting awkward, because now it's just taking forever. Fuck, yeah, we gotta talk about that one, too. I won't go back and talk about these again. I'll take them out of the 99 so we can have our little discussion here. God damn it. Is it gonna be at the freaking back? Okay. Okay, there it is. Sorry, just making sure I'm not thinking of anything else. Okay, so the one I really want to talk about is this one. Savage Ventmaw. Okay. So, when this card attacks, you get 6 mana. Just flat, like that. Like, boom. You attack, you get 6 mana. That's stupid. That's like really good. That's a really good card. Now, the card is a 6-drop. So that's pretty decent value. And by the time you have, enough mana to cast a creature on turn 5 or turn 6, depending on, your tempo, that's pretty fair. Like, you're not exactly like cheating or like getting like a serious advantage over an opponent. I mean, getting an extra 6 mana basically turn 6, turn 7, whenever it gets to finally swing, if it gets to finally swing, that's pretty big play. Now, imagine that this card costs 1 less. Now it's a 6-drop, mind you. So now you've got a 5-drop. Now, there's a good chance you're getting this out on, turn 3, turn 4, with, like a Soul Ring, Mana Rock, whatever, very standard Commander staples. And then you've got this out early, really early. Like, maybe even earlier. I don't know. Like, depends on what you're playing, honestly. I usually get it out. Like, if I start the game with this in my opening hand, I usually get it out early. Well, of course I get it out early, because I always have Eminence. It's literally always online. The only way you could take it offline is if you found a way to get rid of someone's commander so that it cannot come back. And there are a few ways to do that, but it's not very consistent, I guess. I don't know. But anywho, super powerful. And then this one in particular, this one I think is crazy. So, Varix Bladewing. It's a 4-drop, double red, 4/4 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it enters with another legendary token that's basically a buddy. Karox, I think. Yeah, Karox Bladewing. Now, you don't have to kick it. And if you choose not to, this is only a 3. It's only a 3-drop. For a 4/4 with flying. That's pretty good right there. Like, that's really good, actually. But now think about this. If you have 6 mana, you can drop this guy in at the same time that you could drop in something like this normally. And now think about this. If you drop this dude in and he swings, you have enough mana to cast this kicked, and it'll enter with its buddy. So now you've gone from a turn 3 or 4, whatever, 4/4 flyer, to a turn 5/6, 3 of them. And I know there's bigger plays, like this. I'm not saying this is like game breaking or this needs banned or. I mean, I do think Eminence abilities are pretty powerful. Maybe not ban-worthy, but I don't know. Just wanted to go off on a little bit of tangent, and talk about how powerful Eminence is. And I think a lot of people really overlook Eminence. It might just be because the 2017 Commanders are kind of hard to come by now. And that's because of how fucking powerful they are, I think, anyways. I mean, they were really popular archetypes, too. Because, like, dragons, cats, vampires, and wizards, I think, was the other one. Or mages. I'm not sure. Is it wizards or mages? I think it's wizards. Yeah, it's wizards. Wizards of the Coast, of course. Anywho. Alright, I'm just going to jump right in. So, the first thing I'm kind of going to cover with this deck is I actually have 2 copies of Ur Dragon. I've got the regular one, the 2017 one, and this is like mine from the 2017 pre-con. I bought it at Gameplay a while back, back in 2017. But then I know I shouldn't waste money on fake cards or proxies, but like I just want to. This isn't going to show up well. I'll do another video and post it on my channel of like this in like 4K. But like I'll take it out of the sleeve here. So this is a proxy, right? This is a proxy of the Secret Lair foil Ur-Dragon. God, it's not gonna focus, is it? And like, honestly, this is just beautiful. Like, I don't care that this is fake. One, I think this is absolutely passable. Like, I think this... I mean, experts will be able to tell. I'm sure. Like, 100% I'm sure. But I feel like a normal Magic player, like your average FNM standard player, probably can't tell that this is a fake card. And that's the other thing. I don't think these are fake. They're not fake. I mean, they're just not printed by Wizards. You know what I mean? Oh, I just noticed something. Okay, so I guess one thing to notice. I don't know if that's gonna come up right there, but there is like a little bit of like a scuff right here, and you can see foil coming through it. Like there's foiling coming through that scuff. But I mean, this card is, I mean, like, honestly, it even curls like a foil. Like, it's, I don't know. But it's beautiful, and, like, honestly, the only reason, like, you know, you even want a card like this is just for style anyways. Like, it's just a beautiful card. So, like, yeah. I mean, like, as far as, like, functionality goes, like, I have the actual normal Ur-Dragon. And, honestly, I like this art better. But this one is just so much flashier, I think. So, like, sometimes I'll use this one, sometimes I'll use this one. It really just depends. Actually, another thing that's been nice is I had a friend over, you know, for a game, like, last week or the week before, and she wanted to use Ur-Dragon, like, as her commander for her commander deck. Like, her deck was built around Ur-Dragon, but she didn't have one yet. Like, I guess, like, it was, you know, in the middle of shipping or something like that. So, I just let her borrow this one, and, you know, we both played Ur-Dragon. So, that's another cool thing, is, like, you know, proxies allow you to, you know, help your friend group out if, like, you know, one of them is kind of short on cash, or, like, you know, like a card is in the middle of shipping or whatever. I used to be the biggest fucking opponent of proxies ever. Like, I used to fucking hate the idea of proxies. But the main reason I hated them is because a lot of players were lazy with them. Like, really lazy. Like, notebook paper lazy. Fucking, like, you know, just, like, basic land card, and they wrote the name of the card on the basic land. Lazy. That's so lazy, and it's honestly, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating to have someone say, look at this forest. This forest is, you know, a Snapcaster Mage. Or look at this, you know, look at this mountain. This mountain is, you know, my Mox Opal. You know, and it's like, look, I get that you trust your deck and you know your deck, and, you know, it's just a game piece to you. But to me, like, you know, these are art. They really are art. And not just the actual card art, but the frame and, you know, the template, the name, the style of the logos and everything like that. This is a really high quality piece of art. Like, you know, like, a lot of time and effort had to go into the design for all of this. You know, the hollow seal, you know, like the font. The font is trademarked, you know, the Bellerin 2016, I think it is. Font. You know, like, I don't know. This video is already 15 minutes in, I haven't even fucking gotten into the deck yet. God damn it, DJ. But yeah, used to be the biggest opponent of proxies ever. However, now, especially now, with COVID being a thing, and, you know, like, we're finally just now starting to get, you know, the whiff of in-store events coming back. but in this year that we haven't been able to, why do I care if the card isn't real or official? Like I just said, a lot of work goes into it. So, maybe it's that element of like respect to the original, creators and everything like that, because a lot of work goes into that. But you know what doesn't go a lot of work go into? It's just the printing of it. The printing of it doesn't take anything. That doesn't cost anything. So, I mean, it does. It technically does. Yes, you need the equipment and... Ugh. I'm an anti-capitalist, okay? I hate capitalism. So, like, I respect art, but, like, I hate the we gotta make money kind of side of things. Anywho, I like both. Official. I'll support official release, but I like this. And I know this was a secret layer that was just meant to get money, and honestly, that's why... Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Don't buy fucking secret layers. Buy fucking proxies of secret layers. Shit on wizards that way. Like, I'm just gonna keep going on a fucking tangent here. But secret layers are fucking bad products, okay? Cool arts are cool. Alternative arts are cool. Like, this is a game in the year 2021, and we're adapting to a new era of gaming. Players like skins. Players like, fashion pieces. Players like to express themselves. That's just a thing players like to do, and it's awesome to support players doing that and to give them that outlet and that agency to express themselves and make themselves feel unique in a space where everyone's playing the same characters. And that's no different with Magic, Like, everybody plays Ur Dragon. Everybody plays, fucking... I don't even know. I don't actually know what's meta right now, so I'm fucking dating myself here. But it's cool, and it should be supported, and it should be, released. But, like, when Street Fighter releases a skin pack, or Mortal Kombat releases a skin pack, they're like, $5, $10, $15. It's hardly anything. You're hardly paying any money at all. And, like, you choose. Like, I want those skins, so I'm willing to pay the price. But, like, it's not mandatory, and, like, no one's gonna hate you for it or anything like that. But here's the problem with Magic doing secret layers. A lot of those secret layer cards desperately need reprinted. And the secret layer reprintings of them are not really adding anything into circulation. They're highly valuable, highly sought after collector's pieces, and they don't really, like, change the circulation of those cards. And now, yeah, you could argue, well, we don't want them to, because we want those cards to be chase cards. We want those cards to be highly sought after. We want those cards to be valuable. If everyone could get their hands on a Gaia's Cradle, that kind of nonsense. But if you have to go one way or the other. If the card is so powerful that everyone would play it, ban it. Honestly, hand on my heart, swear to... I'm fucking atheist, so that doesn't matter. Sol Ring should be banned. Sorry. Everyone uses it. Everyone uses it, Sol Ring should be banned. Or, hear me out, maybe you could just say, in a game of Commander, where everyone uses Sol Ring, you start with, 2 mana. 2 colorless mana. You just start the game with 2 colorless mana. Or maybe everything costs 2 less. No. Let's not do that. Maybe everyone starts with a Sol Ring. Ooh! There's an idea! Okay, so every game you choose a commander, everyone starts with a commander. You can choose a partner for your commander. What if you chose an equipment for your commander? And not like an equipment that, like, we already have established, but like it'd be like a new kind of card, like a commander's arsenal. Is that already a thing? No, it's not. Anywho, that would be a fun idea. That's a fun idea. I should work for Wizards. Anywho. Let's get into this deck. It's about time already. What, 20 minutes in? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm terrible at this. Okay, so tokens. We've got 5/5s that are for Lathril. We've got 6/6 for Udvara. We've got some more 5/5s for something, I forget. We've got 4/4s. I think these are for Broodmate Dragon and some other things. Oh god. We've got Cat Dragon tokens for Nezucaro? I'm not sure. Cat Dragon. And then we've got Karak's Bladewing, which is for Varric's Bladewing? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I just showed it to you, so yeah. Anywho. Those are at the bottom now. We're not going to talk about those. Actually, where did I put those? I literally just... I put them back in. I'll skip them when we get to them. That's what I'll do. I'll just skip them when we get to them. Alright. I didn't show off the deck box. So I've got the original Ur-Dragon deck box. Comes with an Ur-Dragon divider. We're on one today. I think it's because it's not a weekday that I'm recording this. It's gonna be a weekday when you see it, because I'm scheduling ahead like a real YouTuber. Yeah. So I'm filming this on a Saturday. Sorry, movie magic gone. Anywho, Terror of Mount Velus, or Velus. 7-drop, double red, creature dragon. Almost all the creatures in this deck are dragon, or they decrease the prices of dragons, or do something crazy with dragons. It's all dragons. Maybe you've noticed, but pretty much all my commander decks do something to that effect. I like creature tribal. 5/5, flying double strike. When it enters the battlefield, creatures you control gain double strike until the end of the turn. Powerful, very powerful. Terramorphic Expanse, you know what that does. I'm not going to hold your hand here. Vivid Meadow, and I do believe I have the full set of the Vivids in here. So I'm just going to explain this one, and then we can skip the rest. Enters the battlefield tapped with a charge counter on it. 2 charge counters on it. I was going to say, I thought it was 2. You can either tap it for the color that it starts with, so this one's white, or you can remove a charge counter and tap it, and it'll tap for any color. Super handy when you have to play Wooburg. Sargon's Triumph. It is a 3-drop red instant search for a dragon tutor. So you reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. Vivid Creek, that's the blue one. Broodmate Dragon. This is a 6-drop Jund, black, red, green. That's gonna be another side tangent real quick. I'm sorry. I really fucking hate it, and I just did it, so that's why I'm gonna call myself out on here. I really fucking hate it when people use actual affiliation terms like Jund or Golgari or whatever when they mean just the color combination, because I'm gonna make an ass of myself here, actually. Okay. So I hate it when people refer to certain cards, by their color combination. So you would say this is Jund. In this case, this is actually a Jund card. This is actually a card from Jund. But there's a lot of times where you talk about a card with a certain color combination, and you'll say, "Oh, that's a Mardu," or it's in Mardu. But the card has nothing to do with Tarkir. It has nothing to do with any of the clans. It has nothing to do with any of the Elder Dragons. It's completely unrelated to Tarkir. It just happens to have the color combination. I know it's an established thing that just all players do, and it's just a very common thing, but I hate it. I really, really hate it. Because I think it really does a huge disservice to the character and like the lore of those certain groups and organizations and whatnot, because like some cards that are white and green are totally out of characteristic with like Selesnya, or like cards that are black and red that have nothing to do with Rakdos. Like the guilds. I don't know. I'm picky. I wish that when you said something was Jund, it is actually from Jund, the Shard of Alara. Because I would like it if this game wasn't just a game and the lore mattered and the narrative mattered and all of the fun, cool history mattered and the art. I don't know. I know a lot of people play this game for a lot of different reasons, but like there's so much universe in Magic, and I don't think people appreciate it enough, and I just wish people were more into that space, that narrative space. But of course, nowadays we've got Warhammer 40k and Walking Dead and Godzilla, and who knows how much longer the actual depth of the lore will matter, or how, it's probably going to get watered down. If it hasn't already. There's a very good argument to be made that it's already been watered down, extremely. How many times have we gone back to Ravnica now? Twice? We've gone back to Ravnica twice. We went there sometime in the 2000s, went back in like 2012, 2013, and then we just went back again for War of the Spark. Zendikar. I think we've been back to Zendikar 3 times now, too. Or twice. Like, we're going back to Innistrad again for a 3rd time. Like, don't get me wrong. I love those worlds, and I love those universes, and I have no problem revisiting them. But it's like, are we revisiting them so we can continue to tell a story, or are we revisiting them because they were popular and they sold packs? Like, let's just be honest with ourselves here. Commander Sphere! It's a 3-drop artifact. I'm going to get off the tangent now. You tap it, add mana pool, add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. You can also sack it and draw a card later in the game when you don't need it anymore. When you don't need it as much anymore. Foul Tongue Invocation. A Mardu card. You want to know why? Because it has a Mardu water stamp. So, that's how you know it's a Mardu card. Is it not Mardu color? No, it's not Mardu color, but it's a water card. See? Watermark. That's Mardu. That's a Mardu card. It's from Mardu. I'm going to turn a lot of people off probably with this video. I don't care. Foul Tongue Invocation. 3-drop black, instant. As an additional cost to cast Foul Tongue Invocation, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand. Target player sacrifices a creature. If you reveal a dragon card or controlled a dragon as you cast Foul Tongue Invocation, you gain 4 life. So this is... It's kind of just a spicy dragon murder, honestly. Or no, it's actually target player sacrifices a creature, so it's a little bit more powerful than a murder. It's more like a edict, cruel edict. So that's cool. Frontier Bivouac. And just so you know, yes, that is how you pronounce that. That's Bivouac. I've heard a lot of people look at that and they say Bivouac or Bivouac. Like Magic the Gathering is one of those games where you really learn how to pronounce things and learn how to enunciate and shit. Rise, by the way. Rise of Rise. Hashtag Rise of Rise. I'm still on that. I will never get off of that hill. I will die on that hill. I'm probably already dead on that hill. I'm going to get it trending. I'm going to try. Hashtag Rise of Rise. I'm going to start tweeting it as soon as I drop that video. I'm just going to start tweeting Rise of Rise. Probably going to be my caption when I upload the video or when I share it. Rise of Rise. Should be Rise. Shouldn't be Rise. Shouldn't be Reese. Should be Rise. Reese is a character in Malcolm in the Middle. Rise is a fucking magic card, and it's super powerful, and it deserves a better name than Reese. Reese is an idiot. he can cook and then that's it. Meh. Crux of Fate. 5-drop double black sorcery. Choose one, board wipe dragons or board wipe non-dragons. Very cool. Very helpful. It's basically just Kindred Domination. Kindred Domination for dragons. Exclusively for dragons. That's really what it is. Actually, it's cheaper. Dragonlord Servant. 2-drop red, Goblin Shaman. 1/3, dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. One of the only non-dragons in this deck. I bet you can probably guess at this point what the other non-dragon is. Actually, there might be 2. We'll get to that. Chromatic Ori. I'm thinking about potentially adding this to an artifact deck I'm building, but this one is a little bit more important for WUBRG because there is that extra color that needs to be used. And honestly, with this deck, all colors are used. Like, it's not like there's like one color that like really doesn't show up very much. I think green probably doesn't show up very much, and blue? No, blue shows up quite a bit too. So yeah, green is probably the only color that really doesn't show up a whole lot in this deck. Red shows up a lot in this deck. Anywho, Chromatic Ori, 7-drop legendary artifact. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. You can tap it to add 5 of colorless mana. You can pay 5 and tap it to draw a card for each color among permanents you control, which would be paying 5 to draw 5. Almost always. I mean, there's a chance you don't have all of them out, but... Crucible of the Spirit Dragon. Tap it to add mana to your mana pool, or pay 1 to tap it and put a storage counter on Crucible of the Spirit Dragon. Then you can tap it to, obviously not during the same turn, unless you find a way to untap the land. Tap it to remove X storage counters from Crucible of the Spirit Dragon, add X mana of any color combination, and any combination of colors to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast dragon spells or activate dragon abilities. So, that's unique, but you gotta really plan ahead with that, though, is the unfortunate thing. So, like, this would basically have to be extra. Like, if you didn't have anything else to cast, and you happen to still have extra mana open, that's why you would do that, I guess. Path of Ancestry. Enters battlefield tapped. You can tap it to add mana pool of any mana color. Add to your mana pool 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, you scry 1. Blah. Jungle Shrine. Enters battlefield tapped. Red, green, white. I didn't even cover Bivouac, I just realized. Bivouac was red, blue, green. It's Temur. Or Temur? Is it Temur or Temur? I don't know. Quicksilver Amulet, 4-drop artifact. You pay 4, tap it, put a creature from your hand on the battlefield. Basically, make all your stupid big stinking dragons 4-drops. I don't think that counts as casting them, though. So if they have an ETB, you still probably want to cast them. Still want to hard cast them. Soul Ring! You know what to do, baby! Balefire Dragon. It is a 7-drop double red. 6/6 flyer. When it deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to each creature that player controls. Oof. That's nasty. Especially because it has flying, so it's probably going to do 6/6. Crucible of Fate. No, Crucible of Fire. Crucible of Fire. Enchantment. Dragon creatures get +3/+3. 4-drop red. Very stupid. almost, I feel like every time I run into this card, it's like right at the end of a game. Like I'm already about to win, and then I get this, and I'm just like, Crucible of Fire, and like all my opponents are just like, fucking scoop. Spit Flame, 3-drop red instant. This is super fucking handy in Commander. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, you can pay a red. If you do, return Spit Flame from your graveyard to your hand. It's nuts how useful this is, actually, because this takes care of a lot of the like really like small creatures that might have like utility effects that you don't really want to use a board wipe on because you've got creatures in the game, but you also don't want to like use like your really powerful kill spells specifically on them because it's like there's a bigger threat and you really just want the utility gone. So Spit Flame is where that comes in handy. It's still a 3-drop, so you know it's still not like an inexpensive kill spell, but the fact that it has recurrence, you're going to keep getting it back every time you cast a dragon and have an extra red. And a lot of the times that's going to be the case because of Eminence. Because when things cost less, you can cast more of them, and that's just better magic. Mystic Monastery. That is the... Oh, what is that clan called? I don't remember. Fuck. I'm gonna look like a dumbass for that. Blue, red, and white is Mystic Monastery. And it enters tapped. Skip that Savage Ventmaw for now. Dragon Lord Atarka. 7-drop, red, green, legendary creature, Elder Dragon. Is an 8/8 with flying and trample. When Dragon Lord Atarka enters the battlefield, it deals 5 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and or planeswalkers your opponent controls. Very powerful to just kind of walk into the fucking game and immediately start killing shit. Kolaghan, the Storm's Fury. 5-drop, red, black, legendary creature dragon. 4/5, flying. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It also has a dash cost. If you pay it for its dash cost, it gains haste, and it's returned from the battlefield to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Now, its dash cost is the same price as its regular cost. So that's kind of unfortunate. It would be useful if you were basically just like using this as like a +1 for all of your creatures. But honestly, I think I would rather just have the Summoning Sickness for a turn and then just attack every turn, right? Like, I guess there's the risk of this thing getting killed, but like, +1/+0 isn't really going to make that much of a difference. At least not in this context. Maybe if this was in like a token spam deck, it would be a better fit. But I don't see it as overtly necessary to dash cost it. Haven of the Spirit Dragon. Tap to add 1 to your mana pool, or tap to add mana of any color to your mana pool. 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Spend this mana only to cast dragon creatures. You can also pay 2 and sacrifice Haven of the Spirit Dragon and return target dragon creature card or Ugin Planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand. Chromatic Lantern is a 3-drop artifact. Lands you control have tap to add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, and it also can tap to add 1 mana of any mana or color to your mana pool. Super useful for this deck because WUBRG is a pain in the ass to color fix. There's certainly a lot of color fixing or mana fixing in this deck. Dragon Speaker Shaman is somehow a human barbarian shaman, though I've never really thought he looks very human, to be completely honest. He's a 2/2, and dragon spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. That's huge, honestly. That, like, makes a huge fucking difference. Imagine, if you will, for a moment, play along with me again, yet again, that you start the game. We're gonna just do, like, total, like, luxury thought process here. Start the game, right? You have Ur-Dragon in your command zone, so dragon spells automatically cost 1 less, right? And you start the game, right? Turn 1. Turn 1, you play Sol Ring, right? Sol Ring's cool. And a mountain, you say. We'll say you got a mountain. Now turn 2, you put another mountain down, right? And you play Dragon Lord Shaman, or Dragon Speaker Shaman, right? Now, your dragons cost 3 less to cast. Let's say turn 3... Yeah, you use Dragon Lord Servant. So now you've got... Your dragons all cost 4 less to cast. And you've got, like a Sol Ring online, so you've got, at least 4 mana, because you've got the 2 mountains and the Sol Ring. What even gets reduced by 4? Look at that. Here we go. That's a good fucking example right there. We'll go back to Savage Ventmaw for a second. If you had all this shit, on turn 3, right? Because turn 1, you're doing the Sol Ring. You play the Sol Ring. Turn 2, you're going to do, at least this one, possibly this one, right? So, turn 4, you've already got this fucker out. You've already got this fucker out. And he is just going to speed up every turn after that. He's going to make you go so fucking fast. Everyone thinks the dragons are hard to play because of their high casting costs, but, like, you start running Ur-Dragon and a bunch of the lowering cost things, and it gets stupid. Lathalis, the Dragon Queen, 6-drop, double red, legendary creature dragon, 6/6 flyer with whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a 5/5 red dragon creature token with flying. She also can pay 2, including a red, and dragons get +1 until end of turn. So she has dragon fire breathing, if you will. And that's global, so that's like super fucking powerful. Once you have even just 2 dragons out, honestly. Tarka World Render. It is a 7-drop red-green. Legendary creature dragon, 6/4 flying trample. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, gains double strike until end of turn. Yet again, just stupid power. Scion of the Ur-Dragon. This is a 5-drop. White-blue. It's Wooburg. I don't know. I'm not going to try and fucking say it all. Does this thing even look like the Ur-Dragon? I'm trying to fucking... Because, like... I want to be able to tell if, like... Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, okay. I can see it. Alright. So I was kind of wondered, like, they just call it Scion of the Ur-Dragon, but, like, did they actually, like, do that attention to detail to make it look like Ur-Dragon? I think they did. To its actual ability here. It's a dragon avatar, a legendary dragon, or a legendary creature. 4/4 with flying. You can pay 2, search the library for a dragon permanent, put it into your graveyard, and then if you do, Scion of the Ur-Dragon becomes a copy of that card until end of turn. Then, shuffle your library. That's the only case I could really see being made for having Ur-Dragon in the 99 is because this one is 4 cheaper to get this out on the field. And if you get this out on the field and you copy it to make it into Ur-Dragon for the turn, it's going to be game-shaking, at the very least, if not game ending. Seaside Citadel. It's another one of the Triome lands. Is that what they're called? Green, white, and blue on that one. Moonveil Dragon. This is a 6-drop triple red dragon with flying. 5/5. Pay red. Each creature you control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Udvara Hellkite. 8-drop double red creature dragon, 6/6, flying. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, create a 6/6 red dragon creature with flying. Opulent Palace. It's another Triome. Black, green, blue, enters tapped. Crumbling Necropolis, another Triome. Blue, black, red, enters tapped. I love this card. Hellkite Charger, 6-drop double red, 5/5. Flying in haste. Whenever it attacks, you can pay 7, including 2 red. And if you do, you untap all attacking creatures, and after this phase, there's an additional combat phase. That's pretty much game ending right there, if you've got the mana for it. Vivid Marsh. It's the Vivid black card. Enters with the charge counters. Already talked about Varix Bladewing, so we will just skip that. Plains. Steel Hellkite, 6-drop, artifact creature, dragon. Because this is an artifact, and it doesn't have any color in its cost, this is going to benefit the most from all of the cost reductions, because if we go with all the cost reductions that we mentioned before, and then I think we have a Herald's Horn in here that also can reduce cost, that's a potential of making this a fucking 1-drop. Now, the stars are never going to align so that you have all of those reductions at once, but that's pretty nuts. So it's an artifact creature flying dragon, 5/5. You can pay 2, gets 1 until the end of turn, which is like artifact breathing, I guess. I guess it's still fire breathing, but you don't pay any red for it. Oh. You could also pay X and destroy each non-land permanent with converted mana cost X whose controller was dealt combat damage by Steel Hellkite this turn. You can only do this once per turn. Now, obviously with it having evasion in flying, it's going to be pretty easy to deal combat damage. So, basically you just fucking hit the opponent with this card, and then suddenly you pay, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, and every fucking permanent they have with that CMC is fucking gone. I think is it Engineered Explosive that does that? I think that's the card I'm thinking of. So it's basically Engineered Explosives on a fucking stick. Except recurrence, because it's probably never going to hit itself for that amount. Actually, no, it can't hit itself because it has to be dealt damage by Steel Hellkite. Bladewing the Risen. I much prefer this artwork. The other artwork looks so fucking dumb, I think. It makes it look like a fucking Tweety Bird dragon. Zombie dragon. This is a 7-drop, double red, double black. Legendary creature zombie dragon, 4/4, flying. When it enters the battlefield, you may return target dragon permanent card from a graveyard to the battlefield. Might have a little bit of fun synergy with Scion of the Ur-Dragon. And then you can pay black and red, and dragon creatures get +1 until end of turn. And that's like an actual pay cost, not like a tap ability, so you can just continue paying that. Which makes that ability actually even stronger than Lathless. Fire breathing ability, Dragonfire ability. Arcane Sanctum, another Triome. It's white, blue, black this time. Sansept Citadel, another Triome. This is white, black, green. Rorik's Bladewing. This is one of my favorite Magic the Gathering cards of all time. I do prefer this new art over the old art, but the old art was kind of cool too. But this is a 6-drop legendary creature dragon flying haste with 6/5. It's kind of expensive considering that it's just a flying dragon with 6/5 and haste. But this card is really, really nice for just like getting in and doing some damage because you're not afraid of losing this because it really wasn't that great to begin with. But it's powerful. It is powerful. And with the mana reduction from Ur-Dragon, this is a 5-drop, not a 6-drop. So it becomes, I don't know. I also just like the art and the Blade Wing thing. I love all the Blade Wings. I think they're like a cool, like, aggressive red dragon. And I love red dragons. Speaking of red dragons, this is by far my favorite dragon. And it's also possibly because of how I obtained it. But, Scourge of the Throne. This is a 6-drop double red dragon with flying 5/5 and dethrone whenever it attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life. You can put a 1/1 counter on it. And whenever it attacks for the first time each turn, if it's attacking the player with the most life or tied for the most life, untap all attacking creatures. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase. So, if you're like in last place, and you're playing a game of Commander, and this fucker actually gets to swing, holy shit. Like, you can basically go from last place to first place with this fucker right here. Because, yeah. Well, okay, no, because you can only ever get that first extra combat. But you can get another extra combat with Hellkite Charger, if you're playing both of them. And you have the mana. But, anywho, the story behind why I like this card so much, on top of the fact that it just looks like the coolest fucking red dragon ever, is that I actually obtained it at like a really like janky throw together event that some friends of mine put together at a bar, of all things. Yeah, they ended up doing a conspiracy draft event at, or not draft, but, I guess, what do you call it, sealed, I guess? I'm not sure exactly what the terms are, but, anyway, the event where you, like, you know, pay like $20 and then, like, you get, like, a couple packs and then you play games. But it was a conspiracy event, and I believe he was doing it because he wanted to do the conspiracy event, but like he like missed it because of work or something like that. Like than like normal one like gameplay would have done. But anywho, one of my packs I cracked this fucker, and this was the first mythic I'd ever cracked. I really don't crack a lot of packs because ultimately it is just so much more efficient to just buy the singles as you need them for the decks that you want to build rather than try and like crack packs and build something off of it. And especially for someone like me who cares so much about flavor and so much about like the artistic and like expressive side of Magic, I want my decks to be exactly the way I want them. Like, I'm not ever making any shortcuts. I'm not ever putting a card in there just because, like, I have it, and it's good. Like, the card has to meet certain criteria for me. It has to fit with the theme of the deck. It has to fit with the flavor of the deck. It has to fit with the function of the deck. Theme, function, flavor. Super important things to me. And, yeah, so that was my first ever Mythic I cracked, and I could not have been happier because it was such a fucking cool card. It still is such a fucking cool card. It's my favorite dragon. Init the Dreamer, 6-drop, blue, green, red, legendary creature dragon, 6/6, flying. Whenever Intet the Dreamer, sorry, not Init. Whenever Intet the Dreamer deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 3, including a blue. If you do, exile the top card of your library face down. You may look at that card for as long as it remains exiled. You may play that card without paying its mana cost. for as long as Intent the Dreamer remains on the battlefield. That's a pretty good one. There's a lot of these like weird like tricolor dragons that like have you like pay 2 and a color, and then they do like a fun little ability. I think I have at least a couple of them in the deck, but there's definitely some I don't because they're not all good. Some of them are good. There's one, I think it's the one that costs a black. There's one where you pay 2 and a black, and then he destroys target permanent, and it doesn't say non-land permanent, and I think that was a huge fucking mistake. Because, honestly, like, I don't run that card just because I know myself, and, like, if I was, like, in the heat of the game, and, like, super, like, competitive, I'd probably start blasting people's lands. And that's just, honestly, going after lands is such a dick move. It's such a fucking dick move. I honestly think land destruction should be like a fucking, I don't know, like, commander ban thing. I don't know. Frontier Siege. It is a 4-drop green enchantment. Enters the battlefield, choose Khans of Dragons. Khans, at the beginning of your main phase, add 2 green to your mana pool. And dragons, whenever a creature flying enters the battlefield under your control, you may have it fight target creature you don't control. So you either get a bunch of mana so that you can like build up your game faster, or if you already have a pretty well established board state, then every time you add a new dragon to your field, you're able to basically murder another creature, because it's very unlikely that whatever it fights is going to lose against a dragon. Beledros Witherbloom. So one of the new dragons from Strixhaven. 7-drop, black-green, Elder Dragon, 4/4. Flying, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Pay 10 life, untap all lands you control, activate only once each turn. I really was not a fan of the Strixhaven Elder Dragons. I think all of them kind of do really weird, janky effects that like have to be like very built around or very like intentionally activated. There's like a lot of thought you have to put behind that, and I'm not big on thinking. I like be dumb caveman. Me like fire go boom. But I did. A buddy of mine bought some packs, and he shared some with me, and I don't even remember why, but one of the packs I cracked had this fucker in it. So, here we are. Thanks, buddy. You know who you are. I'm not gonna do a shout out. Yeah, fuck it. Thanks, Taylor. Nicol Bolas, the OG Nicol Bolas. Double blue, double black, double red, +2. Legendary creature, Elder Dragon, 7/7. Flying, at the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Nicol Bolas unless you pay blue, black, red. Whenever Nicol Bolas deals damage to an opponent, that player discards his or her hand. Yeah, so that's Ugins Boava. I'm gonna start just referring to him that way. Like, Nicol Bolas has been around for so much longer before Ugin was ever even talked about, but I'm just gonna call him Ugin's brother, because he's not relevant anymore. He's just trapped in a fucking cage somewhere. So in an earlier video, I challenged everyone to try and pick out which of my cards were proxies. But that has absolutely nothing to do with this extended art foil Jeweled Lotus that I have here. I definitely, absolutely have this real card that is real. No, obviously this is a proxy. Yeah, so Jeweled Lotus, it kind of acts like Black Lotus, but for Commander. You put it into play for 0, and then you sacrifice it to add 3 mana of any one color, and you can use that mana to cast your Commander. With having such a high cost Commander like Ur-Dragon, who costs 9, it's really nice to have this to like get him out a little bit earlier. But the problem is that you probably want to keep it in your hand until you need it, because otherwise this is going to get target removal pretty fucking quick, because people are going to literally be able to just like count your mana, look at this, and be like, yeah, he's like one turn out. So don't put this on the field like I have, like an idiot. Also, proxies aren't really a flex, so if you're honestly, if you look at this and you think, wow, that's an expensive card, like you must not know me, because like I would not pay $500 for a card. I just wouldn't. And that's last time I checked, that's what this was going for. A foil extended art Jeweled Lotus is like $500. I'm not even kidding. Let's check it right now. Live on video, not live, because I'm recording this. We'll check it on video. We'll see what is extended art foil Jeweled Lotus worth. We'll just go to TCG Player. That's what most people use, I assume. Jeweled Lotus. And we're gonna do the filters. We're gonna do foil. And is there an extended? I don't think I have the extended one available as an option. Here, we'll look again at Jeweled Lotus. See if is there no other options? Okay, well. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to check the extended. Maybe we'll we'll type it in. Extended art Jeweled Lotus. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Alright. So we've got a lightly played foil for $500 plus shipping of 99 cents. That's a lightly played foil. Yeah. That's the cheapest. So $500 is absolutely the cheapest. So, if you want a nice, beautiful proxy like this, and your friend group is fine with you using proxies and playing with proxies, then you too can own one of these for like $7. Because that's what a proxy costs. At least that's what it cost me through the vendor that I use. I'm not sure if I should do a shout out, because like I don't know about the ethics of proxies as far as like taking business away. But then again, like you think about it, like I guess genuine question for game owners like Cameron: how many people actually buy something this expensive, something this bougie, you know, like in the store? Like a $500 Jeweled Lotus extended art foil. Like, do people actually buy that? Because like if it is taking business away to like, you know, print proxies like this for these super bougie premium products, I don't know, maybe I'm an asshole then. Like, not that I'm printing them, I'm just buying them. I'm just a consumer. But I guess I'm not helping anything either. Dragonlord Silumgar. 6-drop, blue-black, legendary creature Elder Dragon. 3/5, flying Death Touch. When Dragonlord Silumgar enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature or planeswalker for as long as you control Dragonlord Silumgar. Very powerful. We are over the hour mark on this one, so fuck. Oh shit, man, this one's got some wear on it. Oof. I don't care. I don't care much, I should say. 6-drop, Dragonlord Kolaghan with the Mardu symbol, because that's a Mardu card. Black-red, Elder Dragon, legendary creature, 6/5, flying haste. Other creatures you control have haste. Whenever an opponent casts a creature or planeswalker spell with the same name as a card in his or her graveyard, that player loses 10 life. Obviously, that effect is not going to matter much in Commander, but, yeah, the other abilities are still really good, giving all other creatures haste. Very powerful. Especially for dragons. Especially for Ur-Dragon specifically. If Ur-Dragon gets haste, shit gets crazy. Red Vivid. Okagachi Vengeful Kami. This is the one that comes with the 2017 Precon. 1 in Wooburg. 6/6 legendary creature Dragon Spirit. Flying and Trample. Whenever Okagachi Vengeful Kami deals combat damage to a player, if that player attacked you during his or her last turn, exile target non-land permanent that player controls. So that's pretty neat. Silumgar the Drifting Death. 6-drop blue-black. Legendary creature dragon flying hexproof 3/7. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, creatures defending player controls get -1/-1 until the end of turn. Dragon Speaker Outcast. I believe this is the last non-dragon card, or non-dragon creature. 1-drop red, creature, human, shaman, 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 6 or more lands, put a 5/5 red dragon creature token onto the battlefield. With flying onto the battlefield. Evolving Wilds, this is just basically Terramorphic Expanse, but another one. And you know what that does. Dragonlord Dromoka. It is a 6-drop green and white. Legendary creature Elder Dragon, 5/7. Dragonlord Dromoka cannot be countered. Flying and lifelink, your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So, I was arguing with a friend the other day because he was saying that he thought that Beledros Witherbloom is the best Elder Dragon. Like, period. Hands down. And I was arguing with him that I did think Witherbloom is definitely powerful, but this right here is definitely the best Elder Dragon, as far as I'm concerned. He can't be countered, so there's nothing you can do about that. And once he is in play, your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. So, like, he doesn't even need hexproof, because as the turn that he comes in, you cannot do anything about him. Like, just don't even think about it. You're not going to be able to. Unless you use an ability, I guess. But, yeah, still. He's got Grand Abolisher on a stick. I mean, Grand Abolisher is a creature, so the term doesn't really work here. But it's Grand Abolisher Dragon. Pretty cool. Savage Lands. Triome of Jund. Jund Triome. Which is red, green, black. Fist of Suns. This is a 3-drop artifact. You can pay Wooburg rather than pay the mana cost for spells that you cast. There are some pretty expensive spells in here, and sometimes paying Wooburg is actually going to be cheaper. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, you could use this to pay the commander cost for Ur-Dragon, and then that's getting him out a lot earlier. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if commanders count as spells that are cast. Ujitai, Soul of Winter. Legendary creature dragon, flying vigilance 5/6. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. That permanent doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Dragonlord Ujitai. 5-drop white-blue. Legendary creature Elder Dragon, 5/4 flying. Dragonlord Ujitai has hexproof as long as it's untapped, and when it deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You can put one of them into your hand, the rest from the bottom of your library into order. Amareth the Lustrous. It is a 6-drop green, white, blue. 6/6 legendary creature dragon flying. Whenever another permanent enters the battlefield under your control, Look at the top card of your library. If it shares a card type with the permanent, you may reveal that card and put it into your hand. Hellkite Courser. 6-drop, double red, dragon with flying, 6/5. When it enters the battlefield, you may put your commander, put a commander you own from the command zone onto the battlefield. It gains haste, and return it to the command zone at the beginning of the next end step. Super powerful, because Ur-Dragon is super powerful. So, that's another reason why you would not want to have Ur-Dragon in the 99, because then you couldn't use Hellkite Courser on him. Teneb the Harvester. 6-drop, red, no red, black, green, white. Flying 6/6, when Teneb the Harvester deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So that one's really fucking powerful. So I guess it's not the one I was thinking of. That must be red, maybe? I think it's red. Tyrant's Familiar. 7-drop, double red, creature dragon, 5/5 flying haste. With Lieutenant, as long as you control your commander, Tyrant's Familiar gets +2/+2 and has, whenever Tyrant's Familiar attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player controls. Sarkhan Unbroken. I believe the only Planeswalker I'm running in this deck. He is a 5-drop, green, blue, red, with loyalty of 4. +1 is draw a card, then add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. And -2 is put a 4/4 red dragon creature token flying onto the battlefield. And -8, search your library for any number of dragon creatures and put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. I've never gotten his -8 before, where he starts with 4. You're going to have to get to at least 4 turns with him out, without any kind of like shenanigans going on. But in this deck in particular, that would end the game right there, 100%. Like, absolutely no doubt about it. I do not think there's any way every creature in this deck could enter the battlefield and it would not immediately end the game. Just the amount of like damage divided that would enter the battlefield on all the different dragons that like enter the battlefield with dragon or damage divided would probably just like end the game right there. Maybe I'm wrong though. I would have to go through and check. Also, they'd all have haste because of Dromoka, or not Dromoka, but Kolaghan. So they'd all have haste. You could fucking, oh my god, Lathril. Well, because they'd enter at the same time. I wonder if that would work. Not Lathril. Lathliss. Lathliss Dragon Queen, not Lathril, Blade of the Elves. Similar enough. Anywho, something to think about. Definitely, like, dream material right there. Vivid Grove, it's the Grin Vivid. Sheesh. Herald's Horn. 3-drop artifact. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creature types, you choose a chosen type. Cost 1 less to cast. You're going to choose dragons. At the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature type of the chosen type, you may reveal it and put it in your hand. So kind of the same ability as Amareth Illustros, who we just passed a little while ago. Didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, whenever permanent enters the battlefield under your control, look at the top card of your library. If it shows a card type of a permanent. Yeah, so it's almost exactly the same ability, except with Herald's Horn, it's just at the beginning of your upkeep. Dragon's Horde. 3-drop artifact. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, put a gold counter on Dragon's Horde. Remove a gold counter from Dragon's Horde, draw a card. You can also tap this itself, Dragon's Horde, to add 1 mana of any color. Yeah, so like, basically just free card draw, for the most part. On top of the fact that it's a mana rock. Really good card. Croesus the Purger. 6-drop, blue, black, red. 6/6 flying. Whenever it deals damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, choose a color. Then that player reveals his or her hand, discards all cards of that color. So this one's also black. So maybe the other one I'm thinking of was also black? I don't know. Shit's weird. Here's another one I forgot to fucking talk about with the, like, cost reduction thing. Scourge of Valkus. He's a 5-drop, triple green. But if you have Eminence, he's only ever going to be a 4-drop. Because this is going to be 1, reduced by 1. So he's going to be a 4-drop. So he's going to be a 4-drop for 4/4 with flying. Whenever he enters the battlefield, or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, deals X damage to target creature or player where X is the number of dragons you control. This guy is why Sarkhan's -8 would fucking, like, immediately fucking kill everyone. He gets +1/+0 until end of turn. If you do red, so he's got fire breathing. Actually, yeah, that's traditional fire breathing. Dromoka the Eternal. This is a 5-drop green-white, 5/5 legendary creature dragon with flying. Whenever a dragon you control attacks, bolster 2. So you choose a creature with the least toughness among creatures you control and put 2 1/1 counters on them. Command Tower. You know what that does. Dragon Tempest. This one's fun. It's a 2-drop red enchantment. Whenever a creature enters with flying, enters the battlefield under your control, it gains haste until the end of turn. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons you control. This is another reason why. Well, so this you would already have to have out, but if you had this out and then you used Sarkhan's ability, woof. Wasatoru Nikoru Queen. That's what it's called. Wasatora Nikoru Queen. Fuck. It's 2, and then Jund, red, black, green. Legendary creature, cat, dragon, 5/4, flying, trample. Whenever Wasatora Nikoru Queen deals combat damage to a player, that player sacrifices a creature. If that player can't, you create a 3/3 black, red, green cat dragon creature token with flying. So that's fun. Nomad Outpost. It's another Triome. It's the Mardu one, red, white, black. And finally, we have Ramos Dragon Engine. He's a 6-drop legendary artifact creature dragon, 4/4 flying. Whenever you cast a spell, put a 1/1 counter on Ramos Dragon Engine for each of that spell's color. Remove 5 1/1 counters from Ramos, which isn't that hard, honestly, and add double Wooburg to your mana pool. Activate this ability only once each turn. Super powerful card. Really great for mana generation. Alright, well, at almost 1 hour and 20 minutes, that's my dragon deck. That's my Ur-Dragon deck. Probably one of my most expensive decks. I don't think I've actually price checked it before, but I think my next deck is actually more expensive. Just because of a few pieces are more expensive. Not like the whole deck itself. But anywho, I guess since the next episode will most likely be my last commander deck and my most powerful commander deck, at least for the time being, until I can finish my artifact deck. The next deck, I'll just go ahead and reveal it. It is my Demon Tribal deck. Now you might think Demon Tribal, kind of a weird concept, but yeah, I think I have literally every black tutor in the deck. And so the deck ends up being really more of a tutor deck that uses demons than it does a demon deck that uses tutors. Even the commander itself is Vazaroth or whatever, Varigoth, who is the like call time demon that can boast and go fucking search, go tutor. He's tutor on a stick, and he's a 3-drop. So like I get him out really early, and then yeah, just fucking. I don't even care if he dies, honestly, because like if he dies, oh boo hoo, like he's gonna be a 5-drop next time. But like turn 4, I swing in with the commander and I go search for any card in my deck. Like I'm sorry, but I'm already ahead of you. Like I'm too fast. Anywho, all right. Thank you for joining me again. I'm sorry this one was so long. I hope you're all are enjoying this series and enjoying me just fucking blabbering on about Magic and my commander decks. If there's anything else you'd like to see or talk about or like me to discuss, hit me in the comments down below. If you think I'm pronouncing something wrong and you'd like to correct me, go ahead and hit me in the comments down below. If you want to talk about the proxy thing, or maybe educate me on the proxy thing, or like why it's wrong or why it's right, or one way or the other, I'd love to have that discussion. I'm always up for correcting my my poor opinions if presented with valid reason to do so, or 2, just having a really engaged discussion. I love talking about shit and just debating and communicating. I like to do that, I guess. So until next time, which might actually be delayed, because I might wait to do, I don't know, something flashier with this last one. Or I might wait until I can do the artifact one before I do this one so that I have all of them all lined up. Hopefully with this one dropping on a Monday, I might have enough time to have all of the rest of the cards I need to do the artifact deck. But we'll see. Probably not, honestly. So, anywho, thanks again, guys. Have a good one.